The morning Marcus walked into the boardroom, he was already outnumbered. 7 faces around the table, 7 pairs of eyes that had already decided the outcome before anyone had spoken a word. He could feel it, the quiet, rehearsed confidence of people who believed the meeting was a formality. That the decision had already been made in the hallway, in the parking garage, over expensive lunches he hadn't been invited to. Marcus set his folder on the table. He didn't open it. 3 months earlier, Marcus had been sitting on the floor of his living room at 2 a.m., his back against the couch, his Bible open across his knees, and his business, the one he had built over 11 years, on the verge of being stripped from him by a group of investors who had decided a black man from the south side of Chicago didn't belong at the head of something this valuable. They hadn't said it that way, of course. They never do. They used words like restructuring and leadership transition and vision alignment. But Marcus had grown up reading between lines, and the line between those words was plain enough. We want what you built. We just don't want you. He had sat there that night, not angry, not yet, just hollow, like someone had reached into his chest and taken something that wasn't theirs to take. His wife Diane had found him there around 3 o'clock and sat down beside him without saying anything. She just leaned her head on his shoulder and waited. Finally, he said, "I don't know if I have enough fight left." And she said, "Then don't fight in your own strength." He looked down at the pages in his lap. His Bible had fallen open to Luke 10, the passage where Jesus sends out the 72 ahead of him and tells them ordinary people, no titles, no credentials, no political backing. I have given you authority, not I will give you, not you might earn it, not if you perform well enough. I have given you, past tense, already done, already deposited, already yours. Marcus read it 3 times. Then he closed his eyes and stayed very still, the way a man does when something is settling into him that is too large and too quiet to be rushed. He prayed, not the polished kind, not the Sunday morning kind, the raw kind, the kind that sounds more like a conversation between a man and someone he is not sure he deserves to know. Lord, if this is from you, the company, the vision, the calling, then it cannot be taken. Because what you give, you protect. And if you've given me authority in this, then I don't need to manufacture my own. I just need to show up and let yours be enough. He didn't hear an audible voice, but something in the room shifted. He felt it the way you feel a door open in a house you thought was locked. The next morning, Marcus called his lawyer, a quiet, meticulous woman named Patricia, who had handled his contracts for 6 years, and told her he wanted to fight. She paused on the line. "Marcus, these are serious players. They out-resource you." "I know what they have," he said. "Schedule the meeting." Over the following weeks, something unusual began to happen. Documents that should have been buried surfaced. Emails the investors assumed had been deleted were recovered. A former board member who had quietly sided against Marcus had a crisis of conscience and called Patricia with information that changed the entire legal landscape of the dispute. None of it was Marcus's doing. He had made his calls, done his preparation, filed his responses, but the machinery that was dismantling their case against him seemed to be operated by hands he couldn't see. Every time they closed a door, another one opened, not dramatically, not with fanfare, but with the quiet, methodical precision of a god who does not panic and does not rush and does not lose. Diane started calling it the unfolding. "Watch," she kept saying. "Just watch how he unfolds this." And so on the morning Marcus walked into the boardroom, folder on the table, unopened, he was not performing confidence. He had it. Not the kind that comes from arrogance. Not the kind that comes from having the better argument or the sharper lawyer or the louder voice. The kind that comes from having stood in a living room at 2 a.m. and handed everything to God and then watched for 3 months as God proved he had actually taken it. The lead investor, a silver-haired man named Harlan who wore his success the way some men wear cologne, too much, and you could smell it from across the room, leaned forward and said, "Marcus, I think we all know what the sensible outcome here looks like. We're prepared to offer you a very generous exit package. There's no shame in..." "Harlan." Marcus said it once, quietly, not rudely, the way a man says a word when he wants to establish that the word is the last one on that particular subject. The room went still. Marcus opened the folder. For the next 40 minutes, he walked them through everything. Every document, every recovered email, every clause in the original shareholder agreement they had overlooked or assumed he'd overlooked. Patricia sat to his right and said almost nothing, because almost nothing needed to be said. The case assembled itself in the room like something that had been waiting, patient and complete, for exactly this moment. When he finished, he closed the folder again. Harlan's silver confidence had gone somewhere. Marcus wasn't sure where. The room felt different now. The weight had shifted, the way weight always shifts when truth enters a space that was previously running on assumption. One of the younger investors, a woman named Claire who had always seemed faintly uncomfortable with what the group was doing, exhaled slowly and said almost to herself, "How did he get all of this?" And Patricia allowed herself the smallest smile. Marcus didn't say what he was thinking in that moment. What he was thinking was, "They underestimated him. They looked at me and calculated what I had, what I could do, what I was worth. But they forgot to calculate him. And you cannot win an argument against God's yes. You cannot outmaneuver a calling. You cannot restructure a divine assignment." What he said instead was simply, "I'd like to table the exit discussion, permanently." 6 weeks later, the matter was settled. The company remained Marcus's. The investors restructured their own involvement. Harlan quietly withdrew from the board. The evening it was finalized, Marcus and Diane sat on their back porch. The sun was going down, orange and unhurried, the way God seems to do everything, without urgency, without waste. "How do you feel?" Diane asked. Marcus thought about it for a long moment. "Like I learned something I won't forget," he said. "What's that?" He looked out at the sky. "That when God gives you authority, real authority, kingdom authority, it doesn't look like what the world expects. It doesn't come with noise. It doesn't need to announce itself. It just shows up when the moment comes, and it is exactly enough. Not more, not less. Exactly enough." Diane reached over and took his hand. "They never stood a chance," she said softly. Marcus shook his head. "No," he said, "they didn't. But not because of me." He paused. "They underestimated him. Behold, I give you authority, and nothing shall by any means hurt you. Nevertheless, do not rejoice in this. Rejoice that your names are written in heaven." Luke 10:19. The greatest mistake an enemy can make is to look at a child of God and see only the child and forget the Father.